Hello, everybody, and welcome to Active Reload episode 80. We're back on a round number. We're going to talk some Rainbow Six Siege news. They kind of dropped a little teaser hint that they're...
Yeah, we're going to speculate.
Yeah, they're putting some big stuff on the horizon. Monster Hunter, was it Worlds, right? They had their beta.
Yep, I played it. Their second beta was practically a...
Open beta? Oh, like a...
Demo.
Yeah, here it is. And then NetEase is in the news because they have fired some people. And we'll probably argue about that.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready.
Occam's razor, baby.
Occam's razor. I hope you're ready. Let's get into the show. Okay, let's just kick things off. Do you want to start Monster Hunter first, or do you want to go Siege first?
Monster Hunter.
Let's talk Monster Hunter.
Because that'll be quick. And then,
so you'll talk about the whole thing.
But first, yeah, he's going to fall asleep. But first, number 80, favorite number 80 in sports history or video games, if you like.
Number 80. Okay, you put me on the spot here. Yep. I can't think of a single number 80.
Jerry Rice, come on.
Okay. All right, let's get into the freaking show. Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
They had a beta.
Okay, first off, have you played Monster Hunter?
I've never touched a Monster Hunter game in my life.
Wow. You might like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the idea of massive scale monster hunting games.
Yeah, there's a lot of intricacies like when it comes to your weapons. Mm-hmm. Big time. I'm not a Monster Hunter pro at all. I've only dabbled.
It's got the art style that I don't love.
Yeah.
Very hard. Well, it's softer Japanese.
Yes, it is.
Because that's usually the stuff that I don't like.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's softer. It's a good word for it. And it's more like
less Persona.
Yeah, less Persona.
Yeah.
More Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
But still in Japanese.
What if I haven't played that?
No, I mean, you understand swords and sorcery.
Right. Okay.
Stuff like that. Arnold. But I started with the PSP game, Monster Hunter Unite, or 3 Unite.
Unite? Okay.
United or Unite, yeah. And I used to love it on my PSP. And then I played World. And I thought that was really good. It was just a game that a lot of my friends were playing, and they weren't inviting me. So I played by myself. I didn't get the fun that everybody had.
Yeah, you got FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
But I still like the mechanics and all. And I played it on my Xbox One, and it didn't run very well. It never ran well in the beginning. Then it came to Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And then it ran a lot better. That's when I started playing it more.
This is the first one since that one?
Yes. Right? And now, no, there was an offshoot called... I can't.
Not Monster Hunter.
Yeah, not Wilds. It was something else.
Oh, so Worlds was the last one and Wilds is the new one.
Anyways, I played the beta. It also doesn't run great. It does have a fidelity and a performance mode. Mm-hmm. And
every game does now.
The 60 frames works okay. It just looks really fuzzy, big time. But it ran pretty well on my PlayStation 5.
There's a setting for that I can't think of the name of.
The character creation was awesome.
That's good.
The first tutorial boss you fight was really cool. I do like that it's more open world now.
Yeah. Hence the title.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Worlds.
Nope, it's not Worlds.
Wilds.
It's Wilds.
Damn
it. I thought you can call upon AI characters, which I don't know if you could have done in World. I never did.
Interesting.
But it was a lot easier to do now.
Yeah.
And you can have 2 weapons instead of 1. I remember hating bringing a weapon to a hunt and then having to go all the way back to camp because you got the wrong one.
Yeah.
And so I was able to bring like a more of a range one and then a monster big sword.
So in these games, are you hunting like smaller animals for a majority of the game and then you go for the big one?
No.
Okay.
You can like kill the smaller animals and get stuff out of them. But it's always the big hunts that you need, like their bones to make bigger weapons. And
it's like the boss in a Diablo game.
Yeah, it's a big grind. It's a huge grind.
Okay.
But I like it a lot. This one seems to be more story involved.
Mm-hmm. Story driven.
Yeah.
Who's making it? Is it nope? Capcom. Oh,
yep.
I almost did it again.
Monster Hunter Worlds came out when Capcom was really like made a comeback. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be pretty big. I think a lot of people are.
It better be with how much they're spending
huge
on marketing, because I've seen the trailer for this game 3 years in a row now. I feel like so.
2 open betas. One was 3 months ago, which I played as well.
Yeah,
and things a lot better. I'll tell you that much in terms of controls and
these
everything.
games. I just don't know if I've ever had the inclination to want to play them.
Well,
I don't know why.
Well, you like zombies. I like
zombies.
You like playing with friends where you get better at things.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that. It's almost all the fun is almost in the friends that you make along the way.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Maybe the true monsters were the friends we made along the way.
Maybe.
What's an equivalent to this game that people can relate to?
It's very unique.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's super unique. But I would say just like your basic, it's an open world third-person action game, kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn. It almost looks like that, like the art direction.
Yeah. Colors and everything.
Yes, and the colors.
Yeah.
And you jump around a lot. Like the animation obviously feels like Dragon's Dogma, which is in the same engine.
I didn't know
which is
that.
the RE engine, Resident Evil engine.
Resident Evil 1.
So
weird. It's weird.
It's a lot of hack and slashy, but the combos are not like God of War combos. They're more like press, hold, stuff like I don't know.
Like what about
slower?
The thing I'm thinking of is like Devil May Cry, so not like that then. If it's slower.
No, yeah, it's definitely not like Devil May Cry.
Interesting.
I don't know. It just seems like you can plan a lot with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can attack from the air, from the distance. You can set traps, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's like environmental stuff. You can pull down pieces of rock. Okay. You can lure them somewhere.
You can home alone these monsters.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I like the idea of you setting up a tripwire booby trap for a 100-foot monster.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the monsters are really big. Although I got to a part where you have to take off these giant like dog looking things.
Yeah.
And they're in a herd and you have to lure one out of the herd because fighting all of them is almost impossible, especially by yourself.
You gotta lure out the alpha of the pack?
No, the beta.
Oh. Because he's an
idiot. The alpha would be harder.
Yeah.
The beta is the one that hanging behind. Can't keep up.
Those words have lost so much meaning to me now, alpha and beta, just because of what they've become.
My kid, Sigma. Ugh.
Yeah, that one's actually funny though.
Try going to a college campus.
Yeah, I would.
Theta Chi.
Well, yeah, that's true. Those are what are those called? Not fraternities. Sorority. Well, no, yeah, fraternities and sororities.
Yeah.
Both of them. Yeah.
Greek.
We've lost all control. All right, so yeah.
Have you ever hung out at a college campus like near the fraternity row?
That's never been my scene. Like even growing up into that age group, I was never like I want to go to a fraternity, house party or something. Granted, we don't have a lot of that here. Like there's not a lot of Greek life around here around Sheridan.
I used to date a couple girls in Oregon that were in sororities. It was because my best friend and his girlfriend at the time, his wife now, she was in a sorority. So I met people through her. Mm-hmm. And there's one girl from Theta Chi. I'll never forget. And we used to call it Date a Guy because she needed, she needed to date a guy. And I was the guy.
In order to get in, you have to...
Yeah, I had to go on a blind date, yeah. There's a lot of stupid rituals and stuff. And we went bowling and she hated me. She hated me.
More like hate a guy.
And I rolled with it. I remember I dropped her off and honked and did donuts and stuff. I embarrassed the heck out of her because she was so rude to me. And then like a week later, she calls me and wants to go out again. And I was like, what do you know? I was like, are you kidding me? Yes.
Oh, what?
Absolutely.
You said yes?
I mean, it was a miserable time, but
Jesus, dude.
It worked out.
That's down bad, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Siege. They got a big milestone coming up. Honestly, a big milestone that is hard to be reduplicated. Reduplicated. There's not a lot of games that last 10 years in cycle. One game that lasts 10 years that still has concurrent players over those 10 years. And Siege is right around the corner of hitting their 10-year mark. I can't believe this game came out in 2015.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
I graduated 2015 in high school. That's weird.
Jeez,
I went through a job at GameStop.
I was married for 5 years.
Yeah. I went through a job at GameStop. Went through a little heartbreak. Quit my job at GameStop. And then...
Aw.
Yeah,
heartbreak.
Stupid heartbreak too. Heartbreak does
I gotcha.
suck. Everybody does it.
Happens.
And guess what was there the whole time? Siege. There the whole time. It was there the whole time.
I was just talking to a friend of mine last night, and we're like, man, I really, even though I don't like the direction that Siege is going now, this news about them changing.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So
go ahead.
They announced that they are unveiling this new thing called Siege X. X Roman numeral for 10.
Yep.
Obviously. And it also, the first thing they said was with the including of X, they're getting into adult content. No, I'm just kidding. That was an X joke, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
That's good.
Thank you for coming. Another good one.
I was like, what do they mean by that?
No. The quote here is a statement from Ubisoft. They said, quote, "A new era is on the horizon for Rainbow Six Siege, one that sets the stage for the years to come of tactical and unique gameplay, and we'd like to invite you to be part of it."
It seems like more than just a seasonal upgrade.
Yeah.
From their wording.
After I read this, I was like... This feels like something pretty major. They continued by saying, Rainbow Six team has been working tirelessly to bring to life the biggest transformation in the game's history, and its purpose is to reinforce Rainbow Six Siege's position at the top of tactical first-person shooters by introducing new ways to play, deepened tactical gameplay, refined game feel, and major upgrades all around.
Yeah, so I have a sweet spot for Rainbow Six Siege. I haven't liked it in the last 5 years. And I'm excited for this new direction. Do they say direction? Is the word direction in there?
Let me double check. According to the quote that was posted here, bring to life the biggest transformation. Transformation. Not direction.
Okay.
So it's a transformation.
And now we got to speculate. And this is the fun part. I don't know what they mean by that. So that they could be like,
and that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it, everybody. They could be like a seasonal upgrade is a transformation.
Right. Yeah, a new character.
A new character is a big transformation.
New map.
I mean, big time
transformation.
So I'm going to assume Occam's razor. I'm going to assume that it's really they mean what they say. Things are going to be drastically changed. I think they might make things a little bit faster.
Dangerous game, ladies and gentlemen.
I think they might. I think they might rebalance the guns. I think you had a great opinion on that. You think that.
Well, let me
go ahead.
Let
please.
me get to my. Okay. I think this is maybe going to be a little bit more underwhelming than.
I hope not.
This feels like.
Well, you asked me like, hey, when. What did you say?
I said, when do you believe Ubisoft like statements when it comes to this sort of thing? And it's not very often.
Yeah. It's always
almost
underwhelming.
Never. Yeah.
Almost always underwhelming.
I remember when they told me that what's the pirate game?
Oh gosh, don't even talk about it.
It was going to be revolutionary. It's a quadruple A game.
Yeah, they said 4A.
It's a quadruple A game. It's going to change the way we play video games, and it did because we bought it and immediately returned it because it was not good.
Man,
Skull and Bones. There we go.
Yeah.
So I do think this is going to be underwhelming in the sense that I don't think we're going to have like this massive change in gameplay style or anything like that. What I can see happening is one thing I can see them redoing a bunch of the maps, like a bunch of the ranked maps, just remake, not from the ground up, but like transforming a bunch. They do reworks all the time for those maps. But I can see them coming out for Siege X. We're going to rework 6 of these maps and just release it. And this is the new map for Outback. This is the new Chalet. This is the new Cafe Dostoevsky. House. That sort of thing. Yeah, these are all new reworks for all of these maps. The new house
is the old house.
Yeah. So I could see them doing that. I wouldn't be stunned by that because they do that all the time. They don't usually do it like back to back to back, all like 6 in succession that they release. But with them saying transformation, all that stuff, maybe they're trying to do something a little bit more. What's the word? Brave, I guess, for that.
Man, I would love for them to do something brave.
That'd be cool. The other thing I think I can absolutely see them doing is for every character that does not have a ability that requires their gun to be used. So, for example, Buck, his master key has to have has to be attached with that gun. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to change anything with him. But I can see a situation in which a bunch of the characters just have their guns swapped. So we instead
almost like a pick 10 situation.
Well, no, not pick 10. I think they're going to keep the same format. Just every other character is going to have a different gun. So Bandit, instead of MP7 now, he's going to have an UMP. That's how we're going to do it.
Well, that won't be that's not the change that they're saying.
It does transform. It transforms every character.
I guess if you define
it transforms every single character
that way.
There's only, I think, 3 or 4 characters that have like ability specific guns. Callie, Glaz, they're both sniper characters, so they have to have snipers. Buck has his Master Key shotgun that you have to have attached to the M4 or whatever it is. And then there's one more. I think. Well,
you have some gadgets that work as weapons, like the little bomb drone.
That's an ability. Flores, he has that. And I can also see a scenario in which they are changing the equipment as well for all the characters. So everybody's just getting a full swap of equipment.
But they've done this before.
Yeah, I know. But not for every character, like all at once. I'm talking the gun, the equipment, the smokes and whatever are all changed for every character except for the ones that are
You think
needed.
Like a basic seasonal upgrade or downgrade, in my opinion.
Right.
But wider.
Right.
No, that's probably a pretty good assumption.
This would be,
it's probably the correct
assumption. It would
assumption.
look different from Siege Year 9, way different to Siege Year 10. Because everybody's got different weaponry.
I mean, from season or Siege Year 2 to
it's not even close.
6 is wildly different.
But hey, you know what? The world doesn't look the same either. You ever think of that?
I know. It's my problem with Rainbow Six Siege is that I used to love a game that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. If you love season 8 and 7 and this thing drastically changes everything,
right?
Are those people who love that going to experience the same thing I just did?
It's very possible.
Where I'm like, wow, I used to love Chalet when it was this and that.
That's also why I don't think they need. I think
they need a new game.
For me personally, I'm like, you don't need to transform that much. No. I'm kind of happy with the game.
Yeah. So I'm not. But I want it to change. But do I have faith that they're going to make it how I was assuming Siege was eventually going to get to? I thought of Siege as becoming more realistic.
Right.
But it became less realistic.
Everybody's become also, and this just happens with every video game, everybody's become very, very good. Like anybody that's still playing it and has played it for a long time. If they're playing ranked, especially, they know the call outs, they know the locations for everything, they know where all the default cams are, and they know what to be using for each weapon. So in a way for them to shake it up could be to rework a bunch of maps, change weapons on every single character, that sort of thing. I don't think we're going to see in a situation where they're removing characters, obviously, because people spent money on characters to purchase those characters. That's the thing. Like,
I don't want to see any more like anime characters with big hair and like zombies skins. But I mean, you can't do that unless you get a new game, and they're not doing that.
No, making a ton of money.
I don't know. I was contemplating or thinking about the future of Rainbow Six and how a new Siege would be. And me and Deuce, a big time viewer of his show, we were talking about how I would like Siege to get rid of I know you totally disagree, but I don't want any more destruction. I don't want more destruction. I'm tired
You just want a different game.
I get it. I want the same 5v5, like, drone in the you pre-drone in the pre-round or whatever
at the beginning,
and you set up as a defender. But I think we should not use drones in the middle of a game anymore. I don't like putting holes in everything because then it affects level design. So instead of designing a bank, you have to design some weird funhouse paintball bank because this wall might not be here. So you have to you have to design around everybody destroying everything, every floor, every ceiling, every wall. And I don't know if I like that. I think you should be able to shoot doors out, holes through doors, maybe door hinges and stuff like that. There's plenty of room for destruction, but I don't want more meta added in to this game.
You want the game that they showed at E3 in 2014 or whatever.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's what they were kind of aiming for, and then eventually changed. But whatever. I think they should just make a new game.
The thing
Siege 2?
I don't think they need to. The problem when they do that.
I'm talking about what they need. Ubisoft needs to do a lot of things. I'm talking about what we want. We're gamer specific. We're talking about in the the eyes of other people like us.
No, but but I don't think the community thinks they need to make another game either.
Jeez,
I think
really?
they largely are. There's things that need to be, tested a little bit more, or buffed, nerfed. That's for every game. But
is there still bugs in that game? I haven't played it in a long time. I can't imagine there being too many bugs.
Not bugs that really are like.
Are there like
ruining of the experience?
Are there balancing issues in that ruined experience? Like, oh wow, this guy's gadget or this guy's ability is just way too overpowered.
I mean, there are characters that are very much.
I remember that wolf guy that I think is Wolf or something.
I don't know.
He has the hazmat suit on, and he sets his ability as like a proximity ghosty looking fog that you can only see about 4 feet in front of you. It's all blue and purple.
Oh, Fenrir.
Yeah. Okay. When I say wolf, Fenrir.
Right. That makes sense. Fenrir. Yeah, he's still in the game.
But he seemed overpowered.
He's been nerfed a little bit. He still has that ability, but it's been nerfed down a little bit more. But there are still like characters that are like immediate bans depending on the map that you're playing on, and that's just kind of
how
it works for all of them. But I don't know. I think their goal at Ubisoft is to try to get the most amount of play for every single one of the characters they have in the game, because they want it to be viable for every single map for every single one of the characters. So the thing that this would be really bad, in my opinion, is, and really bad for you too, I think you'd hate this, but because they're operating now, for the most part, on better hardware, they make everything destructible. So the marble floors in the bank, guess what? You can get rid of those now.
Here's whatever. Is something drastic like that? Something drastic I'm down for. But this is still going to be season 10 or whatever X is still going to be available for PS4 and Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine much.
Right. And that's the big thing too. I'm curious. I'm wondering how many people are still playing on those older gen consoles as well, playing this game on those older gen consoles.
I think it's a lot.
Certainly. What was there was the stat that came out, I mean, this was a couple months ago, but it was like 65% or 60% of Xbox One players are still playing on the Xbox One, not the Series X or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty substantial amount, given how hard they were pushing Series X. And it's the same thing for
Rainbow
PlayStation
Six Siege a free-to-play game?
I believe it's on Game Pass for Xbox. I don't think it's free to play on PlayStation. I don't think so.
I know on PC there were different SKUs, or sort of.
Yeah.
It was just like you can pay for the cheaper one, but it takes you longer to unlock the characters.
Yeah, there's like
a $5
There's one. I think whenever they're selling the game, you can do a purchase of the base game, and then with the like year 9 pass or whatever, which will get you the characters that are out on year 9 or for year 9. So it's like 2 characters.
I hope that they do those season passes where you can go back to the season pass.
Oh yeah.
And instead of it having like you lose it forever if you buy it 2 days before it's over.
You know who does that really well? And I'll talk about this a little later. Halo. Helldivers too as well. Yeah. They have like so many battle passes, and I think there's like 8 or 9, and you can just go back through.
Yeah, I went back.
Do all of them.
I was playing Halo, and I went back to an old one. I was like, I want that.
I want that suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and there's coins and stuff like.
There should be more games that do that. It's surprising if there's not, because you're gonna make more money that way if you leave them in there. It's just like ways that people can buy, cheapen it a little bit, but you can still make money on the back end.
I don't actually know. Maybe they look at it and they say, we're not making money that way.
Yeah, you're probably right. They know better than we do. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be probably a little underwhelming, to be honest with you.
James, it just speaks, ruining everything.
It screams developer hype talk. A new era is on the horizon for Rainbow Six Siege, one that sets the stage for years to come to tactical and unique gameplay. That's what I heard when Destiny 2 was coming out. So it's like, I don't know. Whatever. I guess we'll see. with Rainbow Six.
Well, man, I'm excited for something new. I just want to play a multiplayer game, for God's sake.
I'll make one guarantee.
What?
There's one rework and there's one new map. That's my guarantee. I guarantee that's going to happen.
One rework of a map?
One rework of a map.
And a new map.
And one brand new map.
I would hope so.
That for sure is going to happen, I think.
You know what would be amazing? If Rainbow Six Siege 2 came out and it was practically like Tarkov Arena, but inside Rainbow Six Siege. And everybody, instead of point firing or hip firing where your bullets go everywhere, they go where they're supposed. It's more realistic, and the movement's more realistic, and the damage is more realistic. Like you can heal, like go around the corner and start healing up a little bit. That would be interesting in a Rainbow Six Siege situation.
You know, what if, now that you say that, what if that's what they're going to show?
That would be amazing.
It's like a new free-to-play mode for Rainbow Six that's like open world Tarkov.
That's a great segue. Not segue. That's a great opinion. Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's something to talk about. It would be nice if there was a new mode that changed it up, where you can keep the people who love season 8 and season 9 happy, but you can offer something new to everybody. In the trailer they showed a little trailer of this. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't see it.
It's about 30 seconds long.
Statement release.
What they show is I think it's
Describe
Hammer guy.
Sledge.
It was Sledge and someone else. It was year 1 guys.
Yeah.
They were slowly going up to a corner and or a door that was locked.
Yeah.
And they blow it up and they go in. They use a drone. It's really, really slow and methodical, and it feels like old year 1.
I'll be honest with you.
Now, I don't know if that means anything other than like they just want to showcase Sledge and the other guy.
Yeah. That sounds like every operator video.
But they didn't have any extra skins on. No one. It was like old school Rainbow Six Siege.
But for all of those,
but then again, it was only like 20 seconds long. I'll show it.
They don't show any of the skins when they're doing any of those trailers.
I know, that's true.
They always just use the base ones.
But they didn't like emphasize like that kind of stuff. It didn't feel actiony. It didn't feel like yellow paint splash on the screen.
Here's what I will say. Based on that description of that trailer, it sounds like they're talking about droning more than they ever have in any of their other trailers.
And slow moving.
Yeah.
If they make the game slower, I'll be so upset.
Yeah.
Unless they add in stuff like Tarkov Arena, where you have to heal yourself with many different heals and you can repair your leg while your friend is covering you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still in that 5v5 close quarters situation, that'd be great. But then again, you would have to ditch Fenrir and all those abilities in order to do that.
Well, I mean...
And a new game mode would be an option to do. That you just got me excited, James. You almost doomed me out of here.
Also, at the other end of that, like... When you're making new characters like that or adjusting the gameplay, you don't want to decrease the value of other operators you already have.
No, I know.
So like Doc at that point would be useless, because if every character can heal themselves, and Doc,
that's why you need a new game mode,
right?
Like where these characters aren't even in this game.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they had that one Western mode. It must have been year 2. And it was a 2v2 or 3v3 mode where you only had a pistol or a shotgun, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
small
that.
maps, very small maps, but it was like 2 or 3
they do
new maps.
They do.
Never saw it ever again.
They
do a lot.
They do have those like unique event game modes that they do all the time. If this is
an event, I'm going to be upset.
I can absolutely see it being an event, because they love doing that. Then
everything they just said doesn't make sense. It's just like, for a limited time, you can experience like something that we've always wanted to do and change it up.
It's Ubisoft,
for 1 week.
Man. There have also been like a ton of leaks regarding not necessarily this Siege X, but a lot of
Siege X,
newer stuff that's coming to Siege. I saw like an entire list of like elite skins for operators that were leaked online. It was like probably 7 rows of 10 each.
Yeah.
Of operator elite skins that haven't been released that was leaked. There's just a lot of stuff that they've had leak, and you can probably see a lot of them on the Siege subreddit, which is where there's other stuff that's going on there too. So
you're gonna have to pay me to go to Reddit. Sorry.
The Siege subreddit is pretty nice, actually, because I'd learn a lot about myself going there.
I mean, you learned a lot about yourself.
Yeah, they're like, wow, you really suck, dude.
Yeah,
you gotta get better.
They just make fun of everything you post.
Okay.
I always wanted to show a clip or send a clip to Jinxie, see what he says to me. It'd be funny.
Oh man, he'd roast all of us.
I know, it'd be funny.
Unfortunately.
He'd be like, Copper.
Yeah.
And then blink with his entire face.
But yeah, we'll have to come back to this. I don't know. Did they have a release date for it? I don't remember seeing a release date.
Yeah, they said next month. In 4 weeks, they're going to showcase it.
Okay, so
we have 4 weeks to talk about it.
I will come back next. Well,
maybe not.
Maybe not next week. I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, special episode coming.
Yeah, special episode coming next week. The week after, maybe I'll come back and I'll talk about some of the leaks that have been more or less confirmed from everything that's been shown on SiegeX. So
okay, Are you ready to talk about?
I want Siege XXX.
Yeah, me too. That's already on the internet somewhere.
Oh, don't Google Rule 34.
Yeah, which character would you like to see on Siege XXX?
I'm gonna plead the fifth. Let's move on. NetEase. They are a developer.
Yep.
Pretty big company.
Big company.
Not as big as Sony.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
They were. We were talking about this. They have
like, they're bigger than Sony. I said, no, they're not. You're like, you suck at life.
They have a market cap of $67 billion.
Yeah.
Big company.
Yeah.
Sony's got about 124. But
how much does Microsoft have?
1 trillion market cap, probably. Something stupid.
It's dark money.
But NetEase, they released this little game, came out a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Just a little tiny game. You probably haven't heard of it. Marvel Rivals. Yeah, kind of came and went. No big deal.
I played it a lot. Did you?
I played it a little bit. Man, I can't do...
You don't like that game.
Yeah, it's just not the style for me. See, Siege is appealing to me because when I shoot things, most of the time they die.
Yeah, they die.
Yeah.
I also don't like when I'm shooting and someone comes up and melees me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like Fortnite right now with all the swords. Like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm right with you, actually.
And that's just Marble Bibles for me is not my
Marvel
style.
Bibles.
Marble Bibles is not for me.
I like it because I like that Overwatch style game, but I need 4 other players to play with.
Look them up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
He needs 4 other players.
Yeah, please don't. Please, I don't want to play that game right now.
Well, yeah, 4 other players for something else, maybe some other game. Okay, so yeah, NetEase they made a pretty, for me, in my opinion.
Yeah. I have a different opinion.
Did something kind of big is maybe the wrong word. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. They laid off 6 of their U.S.-based developers who they were part of a North American team
in Seattle
that had worked on the game, worked on Marble Bibles, and helped ship the game, from what I understand, as well. Were part of the development process of Marble Bibles, and now, just a couple months after it released,
after success,
a huge release, monstrous release, they have been let go.
Yeah,
and
the internet is
there's been reaction.
The big reaction is, I think it's just too big of a reaction. Now it could assume we're going to have to make assumptions because all we know is just the basic stuff.
My first assumption.
Yeah, what's yours?
I would never work in the games industry, even if you paid me twice the value.
Not the most stable industry.
Why the hell would you do this?
I mean, if I was to, and I think I'm going to pretty soon, try to make a game, I would do it with a small company, but not with big aspirations.
I would do it.
I used to work in the games industry and just a little bit as a freelancer. And it's
cutthroat.
It's cutthroat, and it sucks because your quality of your stuff has really no bearing on getting hired, especially getting hired and keeping a job.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because...
just luck.
Yeah.
Or bad luck.
Like, you could be part of one of the biggest franchises in the world right now, and your job is still on the chopping block.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just kind of how it works. But for bigger things, more all-encompassing things, this, for me, and it's absolutely 1,000% me being prisoner of the moment. I don't disagree with that whatsoever.
Yeah, this is news like 2 hours ago, by the way.
Yeah, but at the time of recording this news,
by the time this is updated, or by the time this is uploaded,
we're probably going to have a lot more information.
It's going to be a little bit more.
So this is
hot takes,
like the opposite of evergreen. I think that there is maybe a bigger situation possibly brewing when it comes to NetEase and in general games development from international corporations that are basing studios in the United States, North America in general. This wasn't a huge team.
I would say the West. I would almost include the entire Western hemisphere. Yeah.
Well, especially if you're an Eastern Hemisphere studio and you're hiring in North America, have a studio in North America as well. It wasn't a big team. Like I said, it was 6 people. Sucks for those 6 people, obviously, especially because they just helped publish a monstrous game. And I hope this isn't the one, like maybe the beginning of something bigger. Yeah. Because NetEase, they have their hands in a bunch of studios that are based in North America. The Bullet Farm one, which is David Vonderhaar, who worked at Treyarch during the prime of Black Ops. Mick Gordon, the Doom musical guy, was working on a game with them. That is a pretty monstrous studio, and it is, I think, basically entirely funded through NetEase. That's their publishing team.
I would just say, if I could, no one's going to listen to my advice, but I'm like, if you want to start something new, I would just try your hardest, unless you're unable to avoid Chinese money.
I'd say a lot of international money right now. You'd probably just want to avoid.
Yeah, you might. That might be true.
Not.
Unless it's in Bitcoin, I guess.
Yeah. So unless you live there, like if you're hired by Helldiver Studio and they're like, hey, we'll move you to the Netherlands. Hell yeah. Whatever. Yeah. That's probably a lot more stable.
That'd be cool. But hell of an experience too.
Yeah. There's just like the thing is with NetEase, they're like I said, multi-billion-dollar company. Very, very have their hands in a lot of different games that we play that we don't even realize.
And developing.
Right. And if this is, and I guess the overarching point for me is, it's interesting to me that this is the team that they decided to let go after the release that they were helping put out one of the biggest games of the year, both this year and last year. And this is like one of the team that they're letting go. It's very confusing to me, and hopefully doesn't signal a larger effect that's going to happen in the studio or in the industry.
Well, I will tell you right now, it would be a signaling something very large if this guy was what a lot of headlines are already saying, which are wrong. The game director. He's not the game director. He was a director at a NetEase kind of small studio. Doing a bunch of stuff. His job with Marvel Rivals is, in his words on his LinkedIn.
Please say it right.
I know. This is
no. I mean, say the name of the game right.
What did I say? Marvel Rivals.
No, it's Marvel Bibles. Marvel Bibles.
A lot of our time, this is a quote, was spent as sort of an R&D branch, coming up with new level design mechanics and gameplay mechanics. That is kind of not the whole thing. What's that word called when you paraphrase? I don't know if this guy had much of an impact in this game. It might be a situation where this team, even though they're developing a really successful game, is like a cutting of the fat situation, and everybody's outraged in like being like, oh my gosh, like what happens when you're an American team working for a big successful NetEase game? Are they just going to fire everybody? I'm like, oh, pump your brakes. Maybe. But at this point, I don't know. Journalism is weird right now, where it's like a bunch of headlines will get you to have some weird knee-jerk reaction, and then it's like people reporting on a report and then reporting on a report. It turns into a game of telephone, and then you actually look at the post on his LinkedIn, and you're like, I don't even know if this guy is as upset as the initial writer who wrote about it.
It is very...
Is it telling? Maybe. Is it a dire situation? No, I'm going to say no. I bet NetEase has fired a lot of people who's worked in this game.
It reminds me a lot of private equity firms when it comes to firing. In terms of you're going to get to a point where if you're doing private equity... you hit a certain point and then you'll get bonuses, and a lot of the time the company will fire you, let you go before those bonuses hit so they don't have to pay out the bonuses, and it saves them a lot of money. Chinese companies like to do that. That's not uncommon.
They also like to change the value of money. over there.
Right.
And so who knows?
If I have any issue with anybody, it's NetEase in this situation. Because I'm like, what more could they have done? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What more do you need them to do in order to?
I don't know.
Prove it, I guess. So that sucks. I don't know. It's just NetEase is going to have more and more, depending on the situation that is arising. They're going to have more hands in their video games that we play, especially with the success of Marvel Rivals. They're going to be able to make a lot more Marvel Bibles.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. I from the last year, Chinese
huge
title game, they're huge, and guess what? They're really good. And
very profitable.
They're not very original, but they're really good. They actually do have a finger on the pulse of what especially Western game players want to play. I mean, we want to play. I think Overwatch is a good idea. It's just like under Blizzard, it was getting crappy. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, let's put Marvel characters in it. And let's put a team together that probably works 12 hours a day.
For $12. $12.
And they put out a really good product. No matter what you say, like Marvel Rivals is way better than Overwatch 2. Way better.
Yes.
And so
what I will say though,
and what? Go ahead.
We're early. We're still in that honeymoon phase.
Right.
Marble Bible still has a lot of time to mess that up.
There is the honeymoon phase has lasted a long time now.
Yeah, but for the original Overwatch, it was a long time too.
It's true.
They had a long.
Yeah, but it was very original. And when we're talking about game directors, you know who the real game director of this game is?
Oh, Jeff Kaplan.
Jeff Kaplan,
the legend. Blizzard was also
legendary Blizzard developer from
game
2001, 2002.
Yeah,
he invented this stuff.
Blizzard was also going through quite a bit of stuff on the outside.
Yeah, Blizzard. I'm not great. I'm not gonna throw shade at one company and be like, "Oh, Blizzard is so much better." No,
Blizzard. They were apparently a horrific company during that.
Every time I think of Blizzard, I always think of what's that guy's name on YouTube? Is Boogie?
Yeah, Boogie2988.
Very first time I ever saw Boogie's when he was talking about how Activision ruined Blizzard, and he goes, "Activision ruined you." And it was one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time.
Okay.
Now I learned that he was just a character, but
yeah,
it was funny back then. So anyways, there's not much to talk about. Like we were heated like earlier, and now we were like, I don't know, maybe.
Well, there's probably gonna be more to the story.
More to come.
It's early, so
it's almost like that hack that happened at Sony.
Yeah.
Which turns out that we were actually right. It wasn't really a hack.
No.
It was a big boo-boo.
Somebody unplugged the wrong server, and we're like, whoops. Yeah. And then didn't tell anybody.
And then they're still kind of covering it up. But I think if it was a hack, they'd be obliged to, at this point, be like, sorry, everybody.
Well, also, I think if they were hacked, they wouldn't feel as guilty to give people 5 extra days of online service or whatever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
If they were hacked, they'd be like, look, this isn't our fault. But they clearly were like, yeah, we're sorry. We'll give you 5 extra days of PlayStation Plus or whatever.
James, are you cold right now?
It's right now, cold outside.
It's about 1 degree outside.
Yeah, according to my watch here, it is 3 degrees outside. So
close.
we're chilly a little bit, but we're not done.
No.
We're not done yet.
No.
We're done with the news. We're going to get into what is coming out this week. I honestly didn't write anything down for what's coming out. There's really not a whole.
Do we have to pause and look at this?
No. I don't think so because I looked at the list and it's basically Avowed and that's about it. And that's like the big release this week. So
and what about Monster Hunter?
No, it comes out next week.
Okay.
Next week, technically.
Oh, Avowed. Let's talk about Avowed.
Monster Hunter, February 28th.
I did download it. I don't think this game, from what I have seen in terms of reviews, I have a lot of YouTube guys that review games that I trust a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were like, it's just underwhelming coming from a Microsoft studio, big first person kind of style game, Obsidian game, which comes with a lot of weight. Dude, when you're Obsidian now, it seems like their big games are worse than their small games. Like Pentiment was amazing.
Yeah. I wonder how people will
Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 are awesome.
I wonder how people will view this one versus Outer Worlds.
Yeah, and then
is that right?
And then you say Outer Worlds and this one, I bet they're very similar.
Yeah.
Which means I'm gonna like some dialogue tree stuff, but the gameplay I'm gonna hate. I'm not gonna love, I should say.
I'm not a huge fantasy person, and also there was not anything that I saw from like you really have to. The outside world really has to love a fantasy game, and I mean, I just finished The Witcher for the first time, Witcher 3 for the first time. So
that's crazy.
If I don't love if the outside world isn't like, hey, this is a must play game, you have to play this, then I'm probably not going to play, especially for fantasy. I'm just not a big fantasy RPG person. So yeah, Avowed doesn't seem like it's really ticking those boxes for me right now, and I don't really see a need to do it. It is free, I guess. It's free. It's on Game Pass. So
yeah.
Maybe it'll be worth a download for that.
Maybe it's for me. I have such high hopes for Obsidian or high expectations that if it's an okay game, which it probably is, it's probably a fine game. I'd probably like it. But if it's not great, or if it's not like a step up from Outer Worlds, then I'm going to be disappointed. I already am a little bit.
Pillars of Eternity come out? Pillars of Eternity 2?
Probably about 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 or 5 years ago.
Because
it's in the same world. I know that.
We give Obsidian a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of it is like deserved.
Yeah. You know what? A lot of people are saying overrated game developer. They have a long history and they might not be the same team.
Everybody remembers Fallout New Vegas. It's a lot of people's favorite Fallout game.
I mean, they've been around for a long time, especially like computer RPGs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Wasteland and...
We talked about this. It's...
what?
The boat.
Of...
Theseus's boat? Is that what it is?
Jesus, man.
The ship of Theseus.
Yeah, Theseus or something.
The ship of Theseus. Is it still Obsidian if most of the original team that made those games are no longer there?
I know. When it comes to a development group, no. When it comes to a boat, yes.
Yeah, it's different.
Because it's all patched. Even though the final is not anything near the original, it's still like added on and then removed later. When it's a new team, it's like, it's just...
And it's people, it's people,
different. A lot different.
Yeah.
People aren't writing on people in water.
Hey, newsflash for you. People are pretty complex.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's that for you.
And then guess what? I heard the writing's not that complex, which is not really, which is disappointing from an Obsidian game.
I mean, Obsidian is pretty famous for their ability to write interesting dialogue trees and characters.
Pentiment is a game that is solely like pushed forward through writing and dialogue. And I think it's pretty interesting and good. And Pillars of Eternity is a really cool Baldur's Gate original 1 and 2 style RPG that is awesome and has a really good universe. And this takes place in the same universe. It's just, it also looks gray to me. It looks gray, meaning middle of the road. It looks like a safe game to me. And I don't want to play a safe game right now.
So now we have the Awugu, the Obsidian Universe Games Universe.
Oh boy.
Pillars of Eternity, Avowed. Is there anything else that's in that?
You know what this game reminds me of? That EA first-person magic throwing game that came out last year, I think.
Magic throwing game?
Or 2 years ago? Yeah.
EA magic throwing game?
Yeah, a brand new game. They fired everybody.
Oh, Forspoken?
Nope.
No.
Oh boy, what is it called? Just look it up while I look at the camera.
Hold on, I'm just gonna sit here and think quietly.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Magic throwing.
It's like it's really a first person. It's you use your fingers and your hands. You're like,
is it VR?
No, dude, I don't know how to explain it.
I'm gonna look it up. Magic game.
EA first person shooter magic.
Oh, Immortals of Avium.
Immortals of Avium, yeah.
Well, that's the first thing that come up. Okay.
I think it's that situation where
when
it came out, everybody's like, oh, it's not that good, and then they never played it. But if you played it now, like it's not bad. It's an okay game.
Man, that's what they're saying for Avowed. They're saying it's good, and it's just not.
Yeah, I think it's around the same time.
Yeah,
around the same thing. It's just disappointing when it comes from a big Microsoft studio now.
Yeah, that's true too. And this is like, we talked about it last week. This is supposed to be their like Obsidian Skyrim.
Yeah,
essentially.
I don't think
it's gonna be that.
It also is in what's it called? Engine, Unreal Engine. Yeah. So it's got some bugs on PC, and it also doesn't look like Unreal Engine. It looks like the creative engine from Skyrim.
I thought it looked like
the facial expressions. They're so bad.
I think it looks like Hogwarts.
Like the actual look of the game. You're right.
It looks like Hogwarts a little bit, which is weird because Who knows what Hogwarts is running on? The Magic Engine. I have no idea.
I played that on a Switch. I'm telling you.
That's true.
I mean, I played it mostly on my PS5, but I did play it on a Switch.
I forgot that game came to Switch. That's a perfect Switch game.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
Runs better than The Witcher 3
Well,
on
that makes
the Switch.
sense.
I don't know how they did. Those are some wizards over there.
See you guys next week. No, just kidding.
Jesus.
Let's talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot, dude. We only have like 10 minutes.
All right, well, let me go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go quick. Helldivers 2. That game's so good. Oh my god, I love that game. I was playing with randos last night, just getting shredded by bugs, and I couldn't have been happier. I was so happy to give my life to Super Earth, and then fall back in, and then do it all over again. I love. Do
you like the new guys? The new?
Yeah, I like them. I think they remind me. There's some of the enemies that remind me of like World of Worlds, which is really cool. Like the big tower, the towering guys.
Guys.
They look exactly like World of Worlds.
That's cool. Do they have swingy arms?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And then some of them are like people that have been head crabbed, like the smaller enemies that are kind of like that. Yeah. And then when you kill them, they have.
I love the head crab zombie.
They show emotions that the human would. So it's like he's looking for his head after he gets shot in the head. It's actually pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, everything cool. Helldivers does. I just want to jump back into it.
It's so good. And the way that they market their game too, the way that they market it in game, basically giving you an idea of what update is coming up next through their like news telecast thing that they have in your ship.
Love it.
Awesome. Genius. I love that game.
They've really crafted an awesome little universe.
Yeah. And also a pretty open community, to be honest with you.
Really?
Like if you're able to just do a quick play in that game, you don't see a lot of griefing very much.
That's good.
You'll call you back and that sort of thing.
When I played it, I remember having a hard time. Somewhere it was like near the end of my little career with that game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I didn't like playing on the easier difficulty by yourself. Right. It just got boring.
Yeah, it gets boring.
And then so I wanted to play on the harder difficulty, and I was like, I'll just jump in with some friends, with some randoms, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
they were great.
They were awesome.
And I was like, wow, this is a good community. Helldivers has made a good community.
Yeah.
Siege.
There's no better community than Siege. Actually, it's funny. I recorded a clip the other day because I'm also playing Siege. That's my next game. I recorded a clip of I was just in a standard match and I had my mic unplugged. I wasn't going to do comms or anything. We were a standard match. I didn't care. But with that, you're getting the audio through the speakers, and there was just like a group of two people. I think I was playing. This is like the first match I was playing, and they were just hounding this one dude that clearly hadn't played in a long time and couldn't figure out where he was on the map or anything. No. And they were just roasting this guy. And I recorded the clip to see. But funny enough, when you record clips on Xbox, they don't bring through the game chat. It's just the audio of the video game.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was weird. I wonder how they did that. But yeah, I thought I was like, man, what a community. It's so good to be back.
Well,
anyways,
I was playing Valorant at first. I guess I could mention that. I did jump into that. It's talk about community that sucks, and it's not really like when you play Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
that community is not fun to play with randoms.
Wait a minute, a Riot developed game with a community that sucks? I'm stunned.
Yeah, I know.
Holy cow!
I'm going to compare it with Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike community is more what's it called? Like competitive.
Yeah,
they're like Halo. Counter-Strike and Halo are very similar in terms of the people that you play with. Usually, they're dudes. Mm-hmm. Who are older than 10 years old, right? And they really expect a lot out of you.
Yeah.
Now, Valorant, at least on console, and I'm definitely sure on PC, is a lot more younger, a lot more girls, I've noticed, which is cool.
He hates that.
But you're now getting made fun of by 11, 12-year-old girls, which is, it's like more salt in the wound.
It hurts.
And they're good too. Yeah. It seems like everybody on Valorant is amazingly good. Drives me nuts. I don't know if that's a console thing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But every time I jump on Valorant, I'm playing with killers, and they have a lot of expectations out of me. And as soon as I start talking, they call me old man. And I was like, man, if I played Counter-Strike, which is almost the same game, and another squeaker, and someone who sucked, who was younger, we would all make fun of them for being young. Like, shut up, squeaker, all this stuff. Now it's the opposite.
Now
I never make fun of anybody for being bad.
The gun's
ever.
On the other hand now.
Especially with Counter-Strike, because I'm always like, Counter-Strike is such a hard game. So is Valorant. It's like, everybody sucked when you first started. You weren't good either. What are you making fun of people for?
You should pick those people
and
up.
I hide my level because it's like 100 and something. So.
Oh, and they're like, how are you this bad at this game? That's so funny.
But there's like, there's a new meta to that game. So
there's always a
when
new meta
you're learning it.
That's the thing that it would probably be more appealing for Counter-Strike is it's pretty...
It's been the
simple.
Same.
Yeah.
It's way more simple. Although the movement's a lot more intricate.
Nuanced too.
Yeah.
There's a lot more nuance to it. But you can get away with it without knowing all of that stuff.
Anyways, I'm playing some old games, and I wanted to talk about Project Snowblind. An old Xbox and PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah.
It's in the same realm of Deus Ex. We talked about Deus Ex last year, and it made me want to play Deus Ex.
Last week?
Did I say year?
Yeah, last year. It's been a while.
It's been cold. It's been a cold week.
It is cold. My brain is freezing.
Snow. My feet are frozen right now.
Yeah, I'm losing function.
Well, Project Snowblind is awesome. I don't know if you've ever played that. Did you ever play that?
I didn't even know what it was.
Wow, but you...
Bad name.
So it's in the Deus Ex universe where it's more of a way hardcore first-person shooter. And you play as a guy who's gotten modded out. He gets injured and you get, modifications all over your arms and your legs, your eyeballs, on the whole Deus Ex thing. Cyberpunk thing. And it's a really good shooter with open level design, like open objective design. Kind of like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, where the harder difficulties, you have to do more things.
Maybe that's why you decided to play that, because we talked about Perfect Dark.
Yeah. I started thinking about older shooters, and I'm missing old shooters.
Robert Horry.
Yeah, that guy. I don't like that guy either because he had a last second 3-point shot.
He's an old shooter though.
Against the Kings and
old shooter.
Don't bring that up.
7 rings.
Yeah, I hope that guy is doing well.
He is doing well. Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm playing that, and then I'm playing Dying Light.
Oh, yeah.
Dying Light was a free game this week on Xbox. Played it. I thought it was awesome.
The original one?
Yeah, the original Dying Light.
Great.
I played it on PS4 when it came out, and it was great.
Did you play the following?
Yeah. Oh, no. I played it
DLC?
before, but not on the Series X.
The DLC is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it was like the play weekly for free or whatever.
The free-to-play days or whatever they call it.
So I played it, and it was great, dude. I love that game. I love smashing the head of a zombie until it pops.
Okay.
It's very visceral.
The more you talk about yourself while you're playing games, the more I'm like, yeah, I get where Odin gets this.
Yeah.
Like, duh. Who else would he get it from?
And then after I was done with that, I played for 10 hours. Started a whole new game. Just wanted to go back. I'm feeling nostalgic this week.
Yeah. He misses the good old days.
And so I started downloading Dying Light Part 2, which is on my PS5, which is available through PlayStation Plus.
And then it all fell apart.
And guess what? The voice acting is really good. That's the only thing I'm going to say that's positive.
It doesn't have the same vibe. It
does not have the same vibe at all.
No.
It feels there's a lot less stuff to pick up. I was going through every room and opening everything, grabbing everything. And I had a big inventory of stuff I could sell or create, blueprint.
It also feels a lot more.
But in 2, I was just playing a shooter.
2 feels a lot more copy paste depending on the area you're in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't like the areas at all.
Yeah. They just don't have. Like in the original Dying Light, it feels more like a city that has been overrun by this plague. And 2 does not really feel like that at all.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know.
And it's supposed to be a city that's on the verge of being exploded by somebody. Yeah, I don't
nuked
know.
Or whatever.
So there wasn't much of an urgency to do anything.
Yeah. They're like, look, you got 72 hours, and then you spend the next 10 hours doing race missions. Like you're racing.
Well, the funny thing about the original Dying Light, the story is so good. The story is very, very good. The voice acting not nearly as good, right? But
except for the main guy.
The main guy's great.
Are amazing.
But the NPCs you come across are they look like they're reading.
The main villain is very good.
Yeah,
in the first one,
and then the following is really, really good.
Following's awesome, very good. They introduced the cars seamlessly in that.
That might be the most satisfying running over of a zombie in video game history.
Except for maybe Dead Rising might be up there.
In a vehicle? Like a shopping cart.
No, you can remember. Well, in the one that they released with the Xbox One, remember? Because that was
part 3. I think.
I think it's 4.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Because it killed the franchise. But there, you can get in a car and run over zombies, and it's very satisfying.
Oh,
and
really?
I think there is one in 2 because you can get into a tunnel.
Oh, okay.
And then the tunnel's open, and there's a bunch of them in there.
Either way, Dying Light, when you're in like a buggy, it's funny. You get like a leg caught.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so good. God, what a game. And they're releasing a new one. I don't know when, but they are releasing a new one.
I did play Dead Island 2, and I thought that game was actually surprisingly fun. Way more bloodier, that's for sure.
I hated Dead Island 2 with a screaming passion.
I know. It's that story is non-existent practically.
Yeah, and the tone is so much different than
Dying Light, because you went...
no, in the first Dead Island. Dead Island, it's like a lot more...
funny.
No, well, the second one is a lot more trying to be funny. And the first one is a lot more somber and like, hey, we're just trying to get out of here because this is happening at this resort island. We have no idea why.
It's in L.A., I think, the first one, right?
No, the second one's in L.A. The first one's on the island. It's
you're right. Okay, I'm getting them totally
I can't remember the name of it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I didn't play Dead Island 1 or 2 very much. But I played Dying Light Part 1 a lot.
Dying Light's better than both of them. I'll say it.
So I figured Dying Light 2 didn't get a lot of good reviews or a lot of love from the fans because of it having a lot of bugs. And then I was thinking, because I know it did. It had a rough launch.
Yeah.
So I was thinking all that stuff was fixed. And I was like, oh, now I know why people don't like it. Yeah. This is not that great of a game. And Techland is awesome.
You're talking about Dying Light 1 or 2?
2.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Dying Light 1.
Yeah. 2.
Techland's great.
It sucks that they get out of zombies.
No, they can make Dying Light 3. I'm okay with that. Really? Kyle Crane's coming back. Just make it. You gotta, inject life into it.
I like how they're implementing like multiplayer and high scores and stuff. But
I'll tell you the one direction they shouldn't have gone in. They did a battle royale in Dying Light 1 towards the end of its lifespan.
They did?
Yes.
Wow,
and
I never played
you had
that.
to collect samples, and when you collected enough samples, a helicopter would come and get you, and the last person alive at the helicopter, or the first person to get to the helicopter that was still alive, would win the battle royale. It was, I think when it was launched, I think they had under 200 people playing it, if I remember correctly. It was real bad.
Anyways, I also played a game called Pariah. On original Xbox.
Hey, that's what we are.
And I never played that growing up. Mm-hmm. And it's fun. It's like a Half-Life / Halo.
What year?
Near the end of the Xbox lifespan, so probably 2005 or 4.
So right when Half-Life was infecting everything.
Oh, yeah.
And Doom 3, Pariah, even Halo, a little bit. Halo 2.
Well, Halo 2 and Half-Life 2.
Or not Halo 2. I'm sorry. Halo 3.
Yeah.
It had a little influence of Half-Life in it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Half-Life's awesome.
Yeah, it is. He's never played them.
Here's what I'll say. Well, I understand what it did to the industry.
It was very good. Very, very good.
In a good and bad way.
I remember it in 2 different situations. Very good and bad. Yeah, I know.
Because everybody tried to and then everybody was like, hey, we can make our own Half-Life. Let's just try it. Yeah, you can't make your own Half-Life. Yeah. You can't.
You can't make your own Fortnite either.
No, that's true.
Also, it made me want to come up with, I want to play. I didn't play, but I want to play the new Elden Ring multiplayer game, which is like a battle royale. It is a little bit of a battle royale. You have a zone that closes in on you.
Oh, man.
And you have bosses from other FromSoft titles. Like, you have bosses from Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Like Sekiro 2 and whatnot?
Not Sekiro. Sekiro is more like, it doesn't fit in the Elden Ring universe.
That's true. That's kind of a cool idea, though. Depending on who you ask, I bet, are there like FromSoft fans that are like, what the hell is this? I
think I don't know. From what I saw, everybody's like, wow, it's an amazing game. It's just, it wasn't working very well because I think too many people logged on. There was too many people who got keys at this game. I don't know how they did.
So like early keys and whatnot?
It's like a beta testing key.
Okay, gotcha. Speaking of, you mentioned Fortnite. We'll talk about this maybe next week. Well, yeah. Next time you see us. This was interesting. This was a news item that was posted as well that states GTA 6 Rockstar is reportedly planning Roblox / Fortnite style user generated content.
Yeah, that's what we assumed. Remember, we were like they were going to create their own kind of
anytime that they're like, hey, we're gonna make it like Roblox. I'm like,
no, this is what they mean by that. They don't want people making their own servers, their own RP servers and stuff. The Rockstar wants to control all of that. Yeah. And they have wanted to do that for a long time. They send They send cease and desist to a lot of these
very litigious
places. And now they're going to be able to fight that because they're going to offer a space for you to create that yourself within the game.
That's
like
a great
Roblox.
idea.
Yeah.
That I love. Just the way it's phrased, I'm like,
don't say Roblox.
I don't want that. Fortnite or Fortnite / Roblox. And they already do Fortnite stuff. It's just
as long as you curate it like Fortnite does or Epic does.
True.
And not like Roblox.
Hey, we'll let anything through.
Like, hey, give me your son's brain, and I will shape it into something weird.
Would you like
just
to see
get your credit card?
Would you like to see a cartel assassination in Roblox?
Yeah, I know.
Here's the server for it.
Roblox is dark.
One of the worst places on planet Earth. I
think it might be. I can't believe when I was watching my son play that because I've always watched him play, but when he started playing by himself, I was like, "Get out of this room."
If you want to watch a really unfortunately funny clip, that makes me It makes me laugh, but it also makes me kind of sad. Just Google Kim Kardashian Roblox clip.
Okay.
It'll probably be the first thing. It's really funny from the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It is hilarious. I won't go into detail. Just look it up. It's really funny, but kind of sad. Let's move on. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done with the show. We'll see you next week. Do a little evergreen episode next week.
We're going to get warm, dude.
We're going to get warm.
Yeah, we're also going to do an evergreen. You're going to like it.
You're going to like our episode next week.
Yeah,
remember, hey, like, follow, subscribe, comment. We'll see you guys next week.
Boom.
What? Back to back like that?
That's Powder, man. He understands this game.
I wish we could save that clip.